Hello everyone, welcome back to a new technology moment. Today sharing with you the experience that we had with this Dashcam, one of the cheapest cameras that you can get, and of course a lot of people may be wondering if this is the right product for you. You will get the user's guide, main camera, secondary camera, not necessarily rear facing camera, power adapter with a USB Type-C adapter, and suction mount. Type-C interface that will provide power to both cameras as the secondary camera connects to the main one. This is the mini interface it uses, this is the power adapter, and these are its specs. It includes a 32GB micro SD, more than enough. However, I installed a 128GB model with no problem at all. Installing the camera is very simple, just locate where the camera is going to be mounted. I would recommend just by the mirror or even behind it if you don't want to obstruct your view. Connect to the cigarette lighter socket and hide the cables. The same for the secondary camera. The secondary camera, for which its adhesive mounting is more than enough. You just have to wire through your car very easily, and for which I recommend to label its wire, as if you have more accessories and need to service your car, it may be very helpful. It connects to the main camera through its connector on top of the main camera. This is something very useful. This is how it will look once both cameras are connected. I have always liked cameras with the screen, as very quickly you will know if it is working correctly, if it is recording, and if you locked a file or not, among many other functions. At this point, let's see the angle that is covered by its lens. Which, as you may have been able to see in several of our videos, most of the times it is not even close to what is expected or promised by the manufacturer. This is the angle that is covered by it. In terms of viewing angle, it's fantastic. In terms of quality for that same rear-facing camera, not so much, as you're about to see. Important to mention right here that what you see in the little screen of the device may differ from what is actually being recorded. Something that we noticed when we were going to evaluate the angle covered by the lens. Menus are what most cameras include: white balance, resolutions, frame per second, G-sensor, video length, and much more. If you want a camera that can monitor your car while parked, this camera may be exactly what you're looking for. First thing to consider, check the working condition of your car battery, and second, modify or just check that the cigarette lighter socket of your car stays energized once you stop the engine of your car. So right to the point, what to expect from this camera is as simple as how good your recordings are. And that is exactly what we need in dashcams, to document events. So you will be seeing a sample footage recorded by the camera while we continue to mention its features. Most cameras will behave very good at decent frames per second at daylight. That is exactly what you should check when buying a dashcam for your car. If you just want the best, is how good the post documented by that particular frame, being able to capture license plates, street names, and not just a documenting camera, as this one may be. All this was recorded from the front-facing camera. This was a day. And this was recording a day with the rear-facing camera. As you can see, a much better angle than expected. This is very helpful. This is how good it looked at very simple situations. However, night vision for that rear-facing camera was just not usable, and events and recordings were just, well, you be the judge. I don't know if that poor quality camera has anything to do with how tinted this rear-facing window is, but that is a fact with most vehicles today. However, my windshield is also heavily tinted, and in this case, night recording was much better. Well, not top-notch, but good enough. Let's keep in mind that we are talking about a budget camera. There are just a few recommendations. First, make sure that you can set the correct date and time, as this unit does not feature a GPS or automatic time and date synchronization. Second, lower the sensitivity of the G-sensor, as it is very easily locking files inside your card. You may end up running out of space because of locked files. Third, and this is up to you, set the max duration of the videos recorded. This is especially useful when you are going to check recordings and need to have longer clips. And finally, always check how camera is used, so in case you're in an emergency, you know how to lock a file, access a video that you need, and you'll know exactly how to do it very quickly. This, as well as the spare micro SD, may be very helpful. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you find the camera that you needed and that fits your budget. I will leave you with a few other clips so you can evaluate how good this camera records. See you next time.